Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Blessings be on the listener, the one who manifests the words of truth and the words of wisdom. And blessings be on the listener, blessings be on the speaker, since they both have made out of one powerful energy, which is life. And life is the manifestation of pure consciousness, or the sense of being self-aware. The life energy is made out of pure consciousness, or the sense of being self-aware, that I am aware, or I exist, or I am self-aware. Not self-aware by something, or not self-aware by someone, but totally self-aware. So blessings be on the speaker, on that speaker, and blessings be on the listener, the one who would always be open to the words of truth and to the words of wisdom. Over the weekend, I distinctively remember that I delivered the message, the last message that I delivered. It was on a Thursday. Over the weekend, somebody was going through, while I was engaged in work and I was busy working over the weekend. As I have mentioned, the work is very important because life needs involvement. Anyway, we don't want to be too off track from the inquiry. So over the weekend, somebody, they were just introduced to my YouTube channel, and they looked at my picture at the YouTube channel, and there is my picture, and there is a word just right above my head, which reads Mukti. As you can see the caption here. So they inquired, as you can see the caption, which says, what is Mukti? Or what is, they ask, what does that mean? But as we all know, the internet nowadays is very powerful. You can find almost just about any information on internet. If you look up, you can find just about anything on internet. However, as I always say, that everything that you read on internet may not be true. And when we look at things more profoundly, we realize the only truth for us is what we experience. You see, what we experience is the only truth for us. However, there are certain other type of truth, rather more generic, I would say, more generic truths. Such truths are taken by other people's experiences, or the majority of the people's experiences. Those truth, we can say, rather generic truth. The ultimate, or the best form of, or the pure form of truth is what you are personally experiencing. Anyway, so this person inquired about what is mukti. What does it mean? Because they saw my picture. They have been following my messages here on Facebook and on YouTube, and they are fascinated by the words of truth and by the words of wisdom. So they are fascinated that how I deliver and what I deliver. So they seemed very impressed. They looked at the picture and the word here, it says mukti. So mukti or moksha or mukti or moksha or moksha or vimoksha. So as I said, these words, mukti or moksha or moksha or vimoksha, all these words basically point out to rather a process of finding the ultimate truth. Do you understand? These are just the words like any other words. However, the word we give birth, remember? We give birth to words because the power, the way we are giving birth to words is the power of manifestation of the words is coming from us. First, it's an intent, but then we speak, and all of us agree to the meaning of the words, and hence we give birth to the word. Word itself has no power, or it's not real. Word, as the great philosopher and the mystic Krishnamurti says, Mr. Smith is not Mr. Smith, really. Word is not that. You see, this is the first key to our mukti. You see, this is the first key to our mukti. So, mukti, moksha, vimoksha, moksha, all these words are rather pointing out to a process of ultimate liberation. The word mukti or moksha means the freedom from the delusion. The word mukti or moksha means freedom from the delusion or ultimate liberation. Now one can ask, and of course when they inquired, they asked me and they mentioned in email in detail, and they said, the way you explain everything and the way you look so closely towards an inquiry, that's the part they love most. They said, can you do the same with the word mukti or moksha? So I said, perfectly fine. So the word mukti or moksha means the ultimate liberation or the end of delusion. Ultimate liberation or the end of delusion is the same thing, is just how you are looking at it. So as you know that in human form we have memories and we have imagination, means we have a past. Past does not really exist, nor does the future. The only thing which is real is the present moment, right here, right now, what's happening. However, when we come in the human form, when we take the human form, we have a memory and we have imagination. Memory we can call past, and the imagination we can call something that does not exist out there, but you may imagine it may exist, like a possibility in the future. But future or past has no meanings in reality. The only meaning which has is present moment. You see, so when you come and evolve in the human form, you experience three-dimensional reality. However, these this three-dimensional reality, if you take a little one step more, you see what I'm saying to you? Please follow what I'm telling you. It's very important. If you go beyond one more step, as far as that, you would realize that life, what you are experiencing, is a very narrow band. Life, what you are experiencing in this three-dimensional reality, is a very narrow band. You see, there is a narrow band and there is a broad band. So life, what we experience in the three-dimensional reality, is a narrow band. And if through our dedication to our practice, through our dedication to Kriya Yoga and meditation, somehow we transcend, we still remain in the human form or the body, but we transcend and we take a little one step further. So the ultimate liberation and the end of delusion becomes more clear. When we transcend, we still remain in the body, but we have opened our third eye that we can see more clearly. So every time we see a little more clear, it is the end of delusion. And the goal is Mukti, which is ultimate liberation. Now you understand, if you are following me, what I'm telling you since I started this video, then you would remember and you would realize what it means, Mukti. Mukti means that you also have liberated or transcended yourself from the samsara. You see, samsara is generated or formed by the karma. If there is no karma, samsara wouldn't take place. Are you following me what I'm saying to you? Karma encompasses the topic karma. First of all, I would be honest with you, first of all, the topic karma is being so largely used in the world, so largely used that the connotation literally now varies from different cultures to cultures. However, the word first, it's a Sanskrit word and it was originated in India. And the literal meaning of the karma, we talked about that. It means that which is done. I have talked about karma. Also, karma encompasses such a huge definition that it exists, that you can explain karma through numerous different ways. Somebody was having a conversation, a good friend of mine, he's a nice fella, good lad. He was having this conversation with me. And in the conversation, he said to me, so what about these, for instance, these politicians or these people, they do quite a bit of bad, but where is their karma? So in his sense, he is using the karma as it is a curse. He says that, you see, they are sitting on the prominent positions, they are rich, they have money and authority, and they do bad things time to time or sometime. And there is so he said that where is their karma? Can you explain? And I told this person, this friend of mine, that yes, there are people in the world, they have authority and they have money and they are corrupt. In easy words, yes, they are corrupt and their karma is with them. You see, that is one way to look at karma. So what I'm saying, in other words, without karma is a cement. If there is no karma, you cannot stick or hold on to your body. Please remember that. That is also one way to look at karma. You see, karma is the cement. I'm talking about in a general sense now. The karma is a cement. If the karma is shed, the person cannot exist as a separate entity. Now the person, there is no separate self because the karma is gone. You see, so when the karma is gone, there is no separate self now. There is no identification. There is no thought process now. There is just the infinite field of awareness. As I said, please remember what I said. I said there is now just the infinite field of consciousness, or the infinite field of awareness. Now the karma is gone. So samsara basically, excuse me folks, samsara basically is being generated, or samsara is being given birth. You see what I'm saying? Samsara, follow my words, samsara is being given birth by karma. If there is karma, there would be a birth and there would be a bodily demise. Remember, I didn't say death, because there is no such thing. There is just life. So if there is karma, if you follow everything, I'm just connecting the dots now. If there is no karma, there is no birth or bodily demise. If there is karma, there is samsara, which is the cycle of the birth and bodily demise. Karma gives birth to samsara, and a body is formed, and the body is formed with an experience, and to transcend karma, or to shed karma, you see. And then all the karma is shed by numerous births and numerous bodily demise, which we understand as jivan, or a reincarnation. When we have taken numerous carnations, and when we have been reincarnated over and over and over, and in the end, through the reincarnation, we get rid of the karma. When all the karma is gone, that is the end of delusion, what we understand as ultimate liberation or moksha. You see, I have made it very easy for you to understand. I have connected the dots in a way that there is not a thing that I have missed, and you know it. However, if you have any questions regarding that, you can always, if you have any questions regarding all the information and all the knowledge that I just gave you, please feel free to write me. You can write me an email, of course. People sometimes they are shy. They want to remain anonymous. Of course, I never mention names or demographics because these things are abstract. They are not in nature. If they are not in nature, of course, they are not in me. It's a fact. So I don't give too much importance to these things. However, the things which needs significance, the things which have significance and needs attention, or the focus, I give attention. Through that awareness, we dedicate ourselves to our practice every day, yoga, kriya yoga, and kriya meditation, and we bring clarity a little more each time with having this awareness as mind. Now I would go further. I'm not just trying to wrap it up real quick. I would go a little further. One can ask a question, why it is necessary to achieve mukti, or why Yaz is delivering this message, or why it is necessary or so significant to achieve mukti, or the ultimate liberation. For one can say, if we like what we have, you see, one can say we like what we have, like the image in the society, or the separate self. We like the separate self, and what separate self has. We like everything about this separate self. So why should we be even bothered for the ultimate liberation? Ultimate liberation, for one, if you truly understood the state of ultimate liberation, you would not make an inquiry like that. If you truly understood, words cannot tell you how it feels to be ultimately liberated, or how it feels to end the delusion. Even, the brilliant mathematician Albert Einstein. I'm sure every one of you have heard of Albert Einstein. As I was delivering the message, I just remembered that once he said also that reality, means this physical reality, is a delusion, though a very persistent one. You understand what he said? He said this reality is an illusion, though a very persistent illusion. That's what he said. And that's exactly true. This reality is an illusion, a maya. And once you transcend, then you understand, when you achieve the ultimate liberation, words cannot bring you close to the feeling of that. I can only quote a couple of our rishis and beautiful mystics such as Gautama Buddha and Lord Jesus Christ. These were the brilliant mystics of their time. Lord Jesus Christ and Gautama Buddha. I'm sure every one of you is familiar with them. And as Lord Jesus Christ said, the kingdom of heaven, that's ultimate liberation. Or Buddha said, nirvana, that's ultimate liberation. These are just the words that I know through these mystics. Words cannot tell you how it feels to be ultimately liberated. Anyway, that's for number one. Number two, what I'm saying basically, if you truly understood how it feels, you wouldn't even have made an inquiry like that. But one can ask, oh, I like this, I like the separate self, and everything which comes with the separate self. You see, everything which comes with the separate self I like. Is just like that, the image in the society, the friends, the culture, the family, the country, different type of activities, the whole, the thing, the whole activity going on, and we understand as life. So for one, I have told you reason that once we understood what ultimate liberation is and how it makes you feel, you would forget about all this. And two, when we are in a human form, there is something also and always, when we are in a human form, there is something always which wants to be more than what we already are. Do you understand what I'm saying? When we are in the human form, there's always something within us profoundly which wants to be more than what we are or what we have. You see, what we are gives birth to what we have, and our comprehension of what we are. What we are in truth is not what we think we are. These are two separate things. Separate self think that this is me, but what we are in truth does not know the thought process, is just is. You see, without any thoughts even. Separate self operates on thoughts and mind and all that. So we always want to be something more than what we have, like the desires in us. Always there is a desire in us. Always there is a desire in us to have something more or to be something more. We don't feel content, unfortunately. We don't feel fulfilled. That's how every society has been pretty much developed. And it's not a judgment because there is no right or wrong way, you see, but right way, that's the eyes through the eyes of a mystic. What works for you has become right. What works for you becomes right. Excuse me. What works for you becomes right for you. What doesn't work for you becomes wrong for you. For example, that if somebody is drinking excessive alcohol every day in their life, somebody can say it's not the issue of the morality. You see what I'm saying? Drinking so excessively, people usually try to relate nasty habits or traits like that with morality. It's common sense that it it has consequences. This is just a generic example I'm giving you to make you understand that it comes with a price and it has consequences, deterioration in health and losing a lot of things and any other addiction or habit. Of course, it means through the common sense we realize it doesn't work, you see. So it's wrong. What is the reason doing that when it does not work? And same goes to how we look at life. You see, there are so many things we have, but we still want to be something more, or we want something more, and we want to be something more than what we have or what we are. Always. That keeps us very dissatisfied for the most part, and we don't feel content. We are happy in a constipated manner, unfortunately, but we are not happy at all times, but it is very possible to be happy. So when we become too tired of us wanting something or wanting to be something that we are not, or always looking for more, then we get really tired, then a desire automatically, naturally rises. You understand? Are you following my words? A desire automatically and naturally rises from us. It's only natural, the desires. Just like you are not putting any efforts while you are breathing right now. Is that a false statement or is that a true statement? You, my friend, are not putting any efforts while you are breathing right now. You see, it's automatic and it's natural for your body to function that way. You are not putting any efforts while your heart is beating. Your heart doesn't have to go to a cardiologist or a heart school or a cardio school or university in order to learn that how to beat. Just simply by being is beating. Beating is not what heart does. Beating is what heart is, isn't it? On the ultimate form and in ultimate truth. Just like that, when automatically when you see that I am never stopping. I fulfill one desire and there 10 desires are standing by now. You see, I fulfill one desire and 10 desires are standing by, and when I am going to stop. So when that happens, we become more aware and we see it's never going to stop. So we work on our ultimate liberation, or we work on our mukti, and it becomes significant, a paramount goal to work towards mukti. It does not mean when we say we work towards our mukti or moksha or ultimate liberation, we work towards it, of course, in the human form we do it. Like nothing changes, everything remains same, but our perception to perceive reality brings more I mean, it becomes, excuse me, our perception of perceiving reality becomes more clear. You understand? Rather clear. It becomes more clear. And we work. And that can only happen when we transform ourselves. You know the difference between transformation and change or not? Do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between the transformation and change, or do you not know? It's okay. We'll explain to you. We will explain to you that what is the difference between transformation and change. So change is something that there are some certain activities are changed. Change is something that there are certain activities are changed. There are certain small changes. There is certain small movement, and it reflects how a person carries. That is a change. Transformation, that nothing remains of the old in that person. Transformation is nothing remains of the old in that person. It's just like almost that you have taken another birth while you still look the same. You understand this transformation. Changes is not on an entire level. Changes is not on a comprehensive or total level change. But transformation is. Transformation is nothing of the past, that how you perceive yourself through the beginning, that remains in you now. Now, the whole, nothing remains of the past in you now. Now you have transformed, means the change has happened in a comprehensive level or an entire level. It's a transformation where there remains nothing from the old. Now it's almost like, as I just mentioned, that you have taken another birth while it still look the same. That's transformation. So mukti, there comes a time in your life when the desire is risen in you and you work towards your ultimate liberation. You transcend yourself from different things and you see each time more clearly. You understand that gossip, desires of getting even, backbiting, feeling ill and negative about other humans or other creatures is not going to take us anywhere. And it is a lot of unnecessary rubbish, and it is a lot of unnecessary garbage which is cluttering the vacuum of our awareness or the field of our awareness. Just like today, as you see, that the awareness is always there, but it's been cluttered by all these negative traits. Just like today, as I see at the sky, it was supposed to be sunny. Anyway, I don't know where it was supposed to be sunny, because here it is not. So, when I'm looking at the sky, I see that there are clouds. It's totally forecast. But it does not mean that the sun is not shining, or it does not mean that the sun is not there. Of course, the sun is shining and the sun is there. However, it is covered and cluttered with the clouds, and hence it's very difficult for the sunlight to come to me, and I don't feel it's sunny. Just like that, all these negative traits, when we know that these are negative traits and cluttering, and so our perception is not clear. But when all this cluttering is being removed from us, and now we can focus more and more, and we can see clearly. You see, and awareness, the infinite field of awareness is always there, and now we can see clearly. So when we reduce these negative traits in us, we understand that we make time for ourselves, we pay attention and give gratitude every day to our breathing pattern. We dedicate ourselves to ourselves to let us know better. You see, there are thoughts when we are sitting in a super silent corner that would rise and that would subside. But we understand and we are committed to ourselves. This time is solely for me, but not to feed my mind. So we don't go with the thought. And we do these practices every day for some time, and leave all these negative also traits, the backbiting, the gossip, the desire of getting even, or contemplating some type of a foolish revenge and stuffs like that. These are all negative traits, you see. So we get rid of that from ourselves. So what remains basically the infinite field of awareness or consciousness. And believe me, when we do all this, with the passage of a very small time, we see the miraculous results and we say, oh my God, life is so easy. Why was I suffering? You see? So this is what happens. So that's why I have answered in detail. If you have any questions, if you have any confusions, feel free, you see, feel free to write me, and I'm here for you.